Continuing with the Math 1 Unit 0 review, number 26. Now we got variables on both sides. So this one's always on the test and different types of tests, and it really kind of throws people off. It depends on how you do it. I personally like to move my variables to the left, and when you do that, it gets kind of weird. So let me show you. So I do that, and this wigs people out because then they're like, well, they leave it like that. Well, technically this equals 0. Okay, there should be a 0 there. Then I'll add a 36 to both sides. And then I'll divide by 9. And x equals 4. 27. 7x plus 23 equals 3x minus 29. Okay, so I'm going to move my variables to the left. And I get 4x plus 23 equals negative 29. Subtract 23 to both sides. All right. 4x equals what, 40, 52. Yeah, negative 52. Divide by 4. And x equals negative 13. 28 says 4 plus 4 times x minus 5 equals 12x. So I'm going to simplify this side, go ahead and distribute. Combine like terms, so it gives me negative 16. So now you can do this either way. I'm going to go ahead and do this one different than I did number 26. I'm going to go ahead and move the variables to the right, so just so you can see what it looks like if I go the other direction. So they're on opposite sides, so I do an inverse. 8x divided by 8, and x equals negative 2. Okay. All right, so now we're looking at the last part of the unit, which was solving inequalities, which is pretty much just like an equation, but you may have to graph the solution, and we have some issues with dividing or multiplying by negative. Okay. So 29, and so we're looking at 5x. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is treat this just like an equal sign for now and start solving. All right, so I get negative 5x is less than or equal to negative 25. Then I'm going to go ahead and divide by negative 5. So right here I just divided by a negative, so that means I have to flip my inequality sign. Okay. If I was to graph that, it would be a closed circle and it'd be going that way. 30 is 2y minus 3 equals 3y. Oops, sorry. Less than. I'm going to go ahead and move these over to the left, sorry, to the right. And I'm going to get negative 3 is less than y. Okay. So this is kind of confusing for people. So if I was to graph this one, you want to get in the habit of asking yourself, is the variable bigger or smaller? So if I could rewrite this. Those are the same thing. Okay, so this is going to be an open circle to the right. 31 is 8x minus x plus 2 minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to simplify both sides, and I'm going to get 7x plus 2 minus 3x plus that. Alright, so this is 6x, combining like terms on the other side. Now I'm going to go ahead and move my stuff this way. Okay. So I subtracted, so I didn't flip any signs or anything, so this is just going to be negative 5. If I was to graph this, it would be an open circle, and all the values are to the left. Okay. 32. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute here, simplify this left-hand side. Combine like terms. I'm going to add the 2 to both sides. Divide by -2. So I just divided by a negative, so I got to flip the inequality sign. Alright, so I got a 0 here, -2. It's an open circle and it's going to the left. Alright, last problem here, 33. 5 over 8, x is less than or equal to -1. So remember, when I see a fraction, I'm going to multiply by the denominator. Get to both sides, put that over 1, so I get 40x over 8 is less than or equal to -8. Then I reduce that down, and I get 5x is less than or equal to -8. Then I divide by 5. Okay, so you got to be careful here. The number I'm dividing by is positive, so this 8 up here doesn't flip the sign. It's only when the denominator, or the one I'm multiplying by, like if that one would have been negative, or this bottom one would have been negative. And same thing when you graph this. I know the fraction can kind of throw people off, but just get it on the right side of 0. Or the correct side of 0, if that makes more sense. So close circle, and it goes to the